Hi. Stop. Coinmaster USA. Stop scrolling for just a moment, because the small copper coin sitting somewhere in an old jar, a forgotten collection, or even inside a family drawer could have a story that goes back more than 80 years. Today, we are looking at a coin that millions of Americans have held in their hands, but only a few people understand what makes it truly special. This is the 1945 Wheat Penny, a coin born during one of the most important moments in American history. A time when the United States was fighting through World War II, factories were working non-stop, and every piece of metal had a purpose. But here is the mystery. Why are collectors still searching through old pennies looking for this exact year? What hidden details separate an ordinary 1945 wheat penny from a coin that collectors are willing to pay serious money for? In today's video, we are going to uncover the history, secrets, rare features, and collector value behind the 1945 wheat pens. Stay with me until the end, because one small detail on this coin could completely change how you look at old pennies forever. Welcome back to Coin Master USA, where we discover the stories, mysteries, and hidden treasures behind America's rare coins. Imagine opening an old box that has been sitting untouched for decades. Inside are old photographs, family memories, and a small collection of coins passed down through generations. Among those coins, you find a simple-looking copper penny dated 1945. At first glance, it may not look extraordinary. It may have scratches, dark spots, or signs of age. But every old coin has a story, and sometimes the smallest details create the biggest excitement in the collecting world. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of the famous Wheat Cent series, which was produced from 1909 until 1958. These coins feature President Abraham Lincoln on the front, making them one of the most recognizable coins in American history. On the back, you see two wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design became a symbol of American history and remains one of the favorite designs among collectors today. The year 1945 was a remarkable year for the United States. The country was nearing the end of World War II. American industries were focused on supporting the war effort, and millions of coins were being produced for everyday use. The 1945 wheat penny was made from a traditional bronze composition because the United States had already returned to using copper-based pennies after the famous 1943 steel cents. Millions of 1945 pennies were produced, which means finding one is not impossible. But collectors know that value is not only about age. A coin's value depends on several important factors: condition, rarity, mint errors, collecto. One of the most interesting things collectors check is the mint mark. Look below the date on the front of the coin. If there is a small letter, it tells you where the coin was produced. But some 1945 wheat pennies have no mint mark. A coin without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Many people think a missing mint mark automatically means a coin is rare. But that is not always true. The real treasure hunt begins when collectors examine the coin carefully. Is there an unusual error? Is the coin in exceptional condition? Does it have strong original details? Has it been professionally graded? These are the questions that can separate an ordinary old penny from a collector's prize. Condition and black spots explanation. Many old pennies show signs of aging. You may notice black spots, darker areas, or changes in color. These marks can happen because of oxidation, storage conditions, moisture, and years of circulation. But collectors understand something important. An old appearance does not always mean a higher value. In fact, professional collectors often look for coins with clear details, strong lettering, sharp designs, and minimal damage. A worn coin with heavy marks may tell an amazing story, but a well-preserved example can attract much more attention. What collectors look for? When searching for a 1945 wheat penny, collectors usually examine, first, the date. Make sure the 1945 date is clear and authentic. Second, the mint mark area. Check carefully under the date for the Philadelphia style with no mint mark. Third, the condition. A coin that has been protected from heavy wear can be much more desirable. Fourth, possible errors. Sometimes mistakes during production create unique coins that collectors want to own. Errors can include unusual doubling, incorrect strikes, or other manufacturing mistakes. These special characteristics are what create excitement in the coin collecting community. Market value discussion. So, what is a 1945 wheat penny worth today? The answer depends completely on its condition and characteristics. Common circulated examples are usually affordable and can be found by many collectors. However, rare high-grade examples, unusual errors, and professionally certified coins can attract much higher prices at auctions. This is why serious collectors never judge a coin only by its year. They study every detail. A simple penny can be interesting because of its history, and a truly special example can become a valuable collectible. Emotional connection. But the real magic of this coin is not only the price. Think about where this penny has been. Maybe it was carried by an American worker in the 1940s. Maybe it was saved by a child starting a first coin collection. Maybe it sat quietly in a family home for generations. Every old coin is a tiny piece of history. When you hold a 1945 wheat penny, you are not just holding 1 cent. You are holding a connection to America's past. Ending a retention hook for next coin. Before you throw away any old pennies, take a closer look. Because the next coin in today's video has an even more surprising story. A coin that collectors around the world continue searching for. Could it be hiding in an old collection? Could someone watching this video already have one? Stay tuned for coin 2 because the next discovery might be the coin that changes everything. This is Coin Master USA, where every coin has a story, and every discovery could be a treasure. Next up, Coin 2, 1935 Lincoln Wheat Penny, no mint mark. Host on camera. Don't underestimate this old penny. Because what you're about to learn may completely change the way you look at every coin in your pocket. Millions of Americans have found old wheat pennies in jars, drawers, and inherited collections. Most people think they're just old 1-cent coins. But experienced collectors know that some 1,935 Lincoln wheat pennies are far more interesting than they first appear. So before you spend another old penny, stay with me until the end of this video. I'll show you exactly what to look for and why collectors still search for this coin nearly a century after it was made. Let's dive in. The history. The 1935 Lincoln wheat penny was struck during the Great Depression, a difficult period in American history. Despite the economic challenges of the time, millions of wheat pennies were produced and circulated across the United States. If your coin has no mint mark beneath the date. Next up, coin number, coin 3. 1927 Lincoln wheat penny, no mint mark. Host on camera. Welcome back to Coin Master USA. We've already explored 2 incredible Lincoln wheat pennies, but don't leave yet, because this final coin has a story that every collector should know. Imagine opening an old family coin jar, spotting a worn 1927 wheat penny, and wondering, is this just another old cent, or could it be something special? The answer depends on one thing: the details. Stay with me until the end, because I'll show you exactly what makes some 1927 Lincoln wheat pennies much more desirable than others. The history. The 1927 Lincoln wheat penny was struck during the Roaring Twenties, a fascinating era in American history. If your coin has no mint mark below the date, it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. These pennies circulated across America for decades, passing through countless hands before ending up in collections, piggy banks, and old jars. How to identify it? Look closely at your coin. On the front you should find the date 1927, Abraham Lincoln, facing right. No mint mark beneath the date. Turn it over and you'll see 2 wheat stalks, 1 cent. United States of America. E pluribus unum. If your coin matches these details, you've identified a 1927 Philadelphia wheat penny. Does an old appearance increase value? Many surviving 1927 pennies are worn after decades of circulation. Some also have dark toning or black spots caused by age and environmental exposure. While these features show the coin is old, they do not automatically make it rare or valuable. In fact, corrosion and heavy damage often lower collector value. What collectors really seek is strong detail, original surfaces, and unusual mint errors. What makes a 1927 wheat penny special? Most 1927 no-mint pennies are common in circulated grades, but certain examples stand out. Collectors pay special attention to coins with outstanding preservation, original mint luster, sharp design details, rare mint errors such as off-center strikes or doubled features, certified high grades. Those characteristics, not simply age, are what can make a coin much more valuable. What is it worth? A typical circulated 1927 no mint mark wheat penny is generally worth well under $100, while uncirculated examples are worth more depending on their grade. Exceptionally preserved or authenticated error coins can sell for much higher prices at auction, but values vary widely based on condition and rarity. That's why experienced collectors recommend having any unusual coin professionally authenticated before assuming it has a very high value. Protect your coin. If you believe your 1,927 wheat penny might be collectible, never clean it. Hold it only by the edges.